afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading Satellite Office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Monday, October the 15th, 2012, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary. I want to first start by taking a look to see how the indices closed here. The Dow Jones closed up 95.38, NASDAQ closed up 20.07. S&P 500 closed up 11.54 points. Strongest index across the board here was the S&P 500, up 0.81%. If we take a look at the breadth on the market, we had 4,139 issues advancing. We had 2,022 issues declining on the NYSE, NASDAQ, and AMEX. 168 issues making new highs, 76 issues making new lows, and pretty much a bullish tone across the market today. We pretty much nailed this. If you guys tuned into the weekend review video that I put out, or the intraday action that we had in the chat room, we pretty much nailed the low of the day on the market, or at least when the momentum came in around 11:10. And we're going to take a look at that action here and show you how we put everything together and show you guys a little bit of what we do in the chat room. In any case here, let's go ahead and take a look at the market. And I want to first start off by taking a look at the ES hourly chart. And I want to show you guys why we were setting up today for a nice little bullish day on the market, aside from the fact that we were at that 1420 support level, and we held that support level overnight. All right, and what you can see here, this nice little channel that I have from about 2 weeks ago when the market broke out. All right, you see the nice little consolidation from the yellow channel right there. We broke out, we pulled back in, zoom back out, and you can see here last week we came right back inside that channel. We're using the above and below method, since that was a key trend line. Above bullish, below bearish, above bullish, staying above bullish. And that's exactly what happened this morning. You can see here we were chopping around this key level above this trend line. We were looking to get long. We were still above the 1420 level. We did put it in a higher low around this 1422, as you can see right there. So then what's the next thing? So then we go here to my 5-minute chart, which I'm going to bring this over because I had a lunch meeting today, so I was not able to do a midday market update. So then we go into our smaller time frames to look for an entry. Just like I told everybody in the room, do not buy the open. Let's wait for a pullback to get long. Wait for a pattern to set up that shows us that we can buy this market to go to the top side. Take off the studies. What do we have? Well, if you guys are in our chat room, mywallstreettv.com, password to login is smart. You guys know that this is our bread and butter pattern right here. These little channels, nice little downward bullish channel play that's set up for us. Recovered back above our resistance band that we had from these prior levels from before. All right, nice congestion. These are just relevant zones that we track throughout the week, and we mark them, and we have our little price bands for resistance and support. This was a resistance price band, but since we got back above it, it turned back green. Nice little downward channel break play. We called the market long at 11:10, and we've been off to the races ever since. I went to lunch and I came back and saw the market even higher. All right, so let's see what the market's doing now. Let's go back to the ES chart. All right. Another reason why we were looking to get long the market. Take a look at the ES, guys, via our channel system, which I have down here at the bottom, in the bottom corner of the screen here. 1 second. All right. And we talked about in the weekend review how this was going to be kind of the new zone on the ES here at an angle, aside from the fact that we're at this 1420 level support here. All right, between these two levels. All right. I know there's a lot of lines on here, but just like I explained, this is really what we have going on. We're basically just in a range, this little slight downward angle, and down here was obviously the support area. Same way you have a horizontal price channel. This is a channel that's at a slight angle, and same way you buy support and sell resistance, top of the channel, bottom of the channel, etc. Same thing here. Buy the bottom of the channel, and we were greatly rewarded today, and with some of the stocks that we're watching, such as Win, such as Yum, such as a couple of guys in the room called Citibank. So a lot of good action, what I'm trying to say here. So now let's go ahead and just take a look at the SPY. I know a lot of you home gamers out there watch the SPY to track the S&P 500, which is fine. Some people track the ES. Some people use the SPX, a regular cash index. Over here, we track the SPY and the ES. You can see here first, let me take a look at the SPY. I highlighted the fact how this is going to be a nice area to buy because we had the trend line support. We had the prior resistance. We broke out, so now it should actually support on this side, which it did earlier here around this area, and it did again. Then we also had the 50-day simple moving average and exponential moving average. So this is kind of like a triple support area. Nice, well-respected bounce today in the market, along with a couple of nice names that we were looking for. Market should get a nice continuation day tomorrow. And if the SPY could break back above 144.50, which I'm going to set an alert for right now, we should be able to make a nice move back up towards this 20-day moving average right here around 144.86, and most likely probably touch even 145 tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. Let's take a look at the regular ES daily chart now. So I can kind of zoom in here for you guys to show you guys the bigger picture, since I showed you guys in that little box down there, which you guys probably couldn't even see that good. All right, so now the ES. All right, so now the ES. This is a range that I was talking about here. Downward channel. Little downward channel right here. All right, and this is the range that we're playing. So obviously we were at a buy point today. Had a nice little shake and bake action right here. We took out the previous 2-session lows and came right back in and closed on the highs on the ES. So definitely look for the ES to go back up. Remember, we're still working this trend line that we have from right here. We had this little breakdown. That key trend line, I'm still paying close attention to that. If we can get above that line tomorrow, which is actually around 1440, we could get a nice move back up towards, I would say, 1445. We'll have to wait and see how that acts tomorrow. But definitely some good action and definitely some good, accurate analysis from our end. Again, we hope you guys are checking out the website, wallstreettrading.com, and checking out the analysis that we're doing over here. So anyway, let's take a look at the Qs. All right, triple Qs had a nice little bounce today. Apple had a nice little bounce today. IBM held up pretty well today. That one has that stock has earnings, I believe, tomorrow or Wednesday. I'll double check that here shortly. Anyway, so Qs are all right. They got a nice little bounce today. Definitely want to see the Qs get back above this little base that was holding as support that it broke below last week. Definitely want to see the Qs get back above 6750, call it. If the Qs can get back above 6750 and we can recapture that support level, we can make a nice move back up towards 6850. Really want to see how much the bulls try to get back in control in this market. All right, how much they try to gain back control here. So IWM, same thing. Held this nice little level down here, which you got again. This was our prior resistance level. So now, it's back testing, trying to hold as support. And we had this little breakout. We called the breakout in the TNA back here when we broke past this little band, passes all this resistance up here. Now this is kind of like the official back test from this little momentum move that we had when all the volume started coming in and we were breaking out, as you guys can see. All right, downward channel still in play. We had the fake breakout that happened, 2 weeks ago on the 5th of October from the earnings number, from the jobs number. Came back inside the channel. The channel is still in play. All right, if we can get back above that channel line and back above that 83 level, we can maybe get a nice move back up to the top side. This will be a nice little buyable dip around here. Again, we need more clues to see how that sets up. And I want to take a look at the Dow Jones futures because this has a nice little clean chart you can follow. And you can see here, nice clean upward channel. Try to break below 13,250 the past 2 sessions here, Thursday and Friday. And this morning we took out those 2 lows, came right back up and closed on the high. So nice little shake and bake action there. Looking for the Dow Jones to continue higher, and looking for the rest of the markets obviously to continue higher with the Dow and S&P 500 and all that other good stuff. All right, what are some catalysts? Let's take a look at the dollar. The dollar was weak a little bit today. If I go into the intraday time frame on the 15-minute chart, you can see that we were trading up strong overnight. All right, had some selling pressure come in. Had some selling pressure come in overnight. We started recovering right here around 7 o'clock. Then when the market opened up, had a little bit of pop, a little bit of action to the top side. Then they basically faded it back down. That's when the market started getting some nice traction around that 11 o'clock time frame. And ever since then, it just really started trading, like garbage. So this is the same trend line that I have on the daily chart. So if we can hold below this trend line, or just give you guys a level here, if we can hold below, I would say 79.75 and then break these lows from last week around the 79.50 area, this dollar will be back inside this little downward channel. All right, and the more it stops chopping around this little trend line, starts rolling back over, the more we can start to expect the market to move higher off that weak dollar. Another catalyst that you could take a look at, which I've been showing you guys as well, is the euro dollar. All right, highlighting the fact that while the market was trading weak last week, the euro dollar traded pretty strong. All right, we're still holding above this key red area that I have shaded right here. If you guys could look at the previous videos and see why that trend line, why this little whole area is important. I'm not going to go over it again, but you can see here, Euro, nice little up move, sideways consolidation, kind of indicative of a nice little bull flag setting up here in this little channel bull flag, whatever you want to call it. This is a nice little pattern that's going to give us a nice tradable move pretty soon, whether it be to the top side with the dollar breaking out, euro trading with the dollar breaking down, euro trading higher with the markets, or whether it be the euro breaking down, coming in a little bit lower here, and the dollar getting a little bit of buying pressure, and the market's pulling back a little bit. So we have some nice charts to work off of here. That's going to give us some more clues, and the more we go throughout the week, the more we'll be able to see what's going to happen, what scenario is going to play out. All right, so that's a euro dollar. Let's take a look at the volatility index. The volatility index is at the top of the channel, and we're going to have a nice tradable play set up here as well, because the volatility index has been getting rejected up here near the highs. All right, and if it gets rejected again right here, we have this little space to work up with. And if it breaks back below 15, we should get a nice little momentum move back down towards 13.5. If we break 13.5, target will be back down towards the bottom of this little channel down here, which has been in, and that would definitely mean that the market is going to continue trading higher. So, something's brewing here, whether it be a move back to the top side with the dip buyers coming in aggressively, or whether it be the VIX breaks out and we have the bears take control of the market, which they had been trying to do, as you can see from last week. All right, so that's what we're watching. Some stocks that we're watching, obviously IBM, like I said, has earnings. Let's see here. IBM has earnings tomorrow after the bell. Yeah, they have earnings tomorrow after the bell. That's going to be very, very interesting. They have a nice inverse head and shoulders pattern here that's set up. So if the earnings are good, the chart is set up to go up here and make new highs and head up towards that 218 measured target. Apple, take a look at AAPL. Apple still holding above the 620 level. You can actually draw a nice little downward channel set up here on the daily chart. And if this thing holds 620, we start to trade sideways and base up, base down here a little bit more, and then we get that nice little buying pressure above this trend line. We can see a nice little move up in Apple. I really want to see Apple get back above 650. If you're an Apple bull, you really want to see Apple recover that 650 as well. All right, because you really can't be bullish on Apple until it gets back above that 650 level, as that was a little base it was holding before it broke down. Okay, that's Apple. Amazon. Now this is a nice setup right here, guys. Why? You can take a look. You can see how it had a nice little consolidation range right here before it broke out on this little volume that came in. Trended higher, trended higher, trended higher. Came in, put a double top around this 265 area, put a lower high right here. They sold it off last week. Now, guess what? Intraday, basically kind of back tested this little breakout from this range. You can see dip buyers came right in there and bought that right up, closed on the highs, took out the previous two days lows, and basically anybody that short this stock below this 241.75 level, call it, they're basically feeling some pain right now. Obviously they're not feeling much pain because it's only $3. They're only $3 out the money on a $244 stock. However, if this hammer gets respected and buyers come in tomorrow and buy this over today's highs, Amazon could be back up at 250 by the end of the week, which I'm kind of expecting, and which kind of makes sense because it could rally back up to kind of back test this area right here and see if the sellers want to try to hold it down if we get there, if they want to bring it back up. So anyway, keep Amazon on watch. Nice little reversal here for the day, and they have earnings next week, Thursday. Okay, that's Amazon. Yum, another idea here that we've mentioned, highlighted the fact how it was in a range. If it took out Friday's highs, you can expect a nice up move there. This was a range. All right, gapped up on the earnings, pulled back, held the prior resistance, now acting as support on this side, and that was a nice trade. We call that trade out in the chat room, actually on the Twitter stream as well, from 70.14, and we clipped it out at 70.82. I believe I sold the last shares, and again, that was placed on the Twitter stream. You can follow us on there, and you can follow us on StockTwits as well, as we put a lot of ideas on StockTwits. So that's Yum. Goldman Sachs, the banks were strong. Goldman Sachs continues to show some relative strength compared to the other banks. Next target on Goldman Sachs obviously is up here towards 128.65, about $4 higher. They have earnings tomorrow before the bell, right? And if they report like Citigroup does, then that stock could be at those highs tomorrow. Citigroup, nice strong day today off those earnings numbers, trending pretty strong, trending along the 8 EMA and 8 SMA. Next target on Citigroup is up here towards these highs as well, up here towards 38.40. That stock has about another $1.80 in it. Okay, and let's see here. Let's take a look at crude oil. See how crude oil closed. All right, crude oil had a nice little bounce here. Gap down, recovered. Take a look at the GLD. All right, I'm dragging this video on, so I'm trying to speed it up here. GLD, gap down, recovered a little bit off the lows. This thing may want to pull back a little bit more. We'll have to wait and see. Not really interested in trading the gold stocks right now. And that's about it, guys. So yeah, that's about it. We'll have some more stuff obviously tomorrow in the chat room. Hope you guys had a great trading day today. If you are not following us on Stock Twits, you can follow us under My Wall Street TV. All right, and you can also follow us on Twitter at Wall Street Trade, WALLST Trade. You can follow me at Ask Chrissy Trade, which is basically Ask Chrissy Trades without the S on Twitter. And follow our analysis, guys. We're doing pretty well. We're accurate analysis, keeping our traders in the room on the right side of the market. And hope you guys are doing the same. Have a great day. Catch you guys tomorrow.